Hey guys, what's going on? KP here. We're back with another episode of the KP Podcast. This is the podcast where we get to know some bands a little bit more. If you didn't know them already, well, you're about to. You're about to know a little bit about this guy named Devin Ingelido from the band Variant. How you doing today, Devin?
I'm doing fantastic, Kevin. How are you?
Also fantastic, trying to stay safe while everything's going on. Who is Variant? Who all is in Variant? What is your role in the band? And where are you guys from?
Yeah, so we're from Florida, actually all around Florida. I actually started this band with a producer friend of mine from South Florida named Javi Mello, who has the JML Studios. So he's been working with me creating this music. We just became a band last year, actually around the same time. And I was really just doing it just to kind of make some music again after my touring days back in the day. And ever since then, after we put out the first song, people started taking it very seriously and really liked it. And we picked up some management, and I've got some members. Peter is my guitarist, and Wyatt is my drummer, and we're just operating as a three-piece right now.
Okay, so you're saying touring days. Where are people going to recognize you from?
I used to play bass in a band called VersaEmerge, which was on Fueled by Rum and Atlantic Records, and I was doing that for about 5 years.
5 years, and this band just started last year. What do you think the difference? What's the difference between these two bands? Why this shift?
There's a lot of differences. VersaEmerge, for anyone who is familiar with them, we were on the same label as Paramore, Panic at the Disco, so we were a pop rock band. So we had a female singer named Sierra, which people are very familiar with her on that most famous A Day to Remember song, some things like that. So I was playing bass in that band, so that's a big difference because now I'm doing vocals for a metal band. So it's been a big shift, but metal has always been a passion of mine. I loved it even before I started playing in pop bands and things like that. So I've always wanted to do vocals for a band and kind of do it the way that I would like to. Grew up with bands like Veil of Maya, After the Burial, Parkway Drive. Those are some of my big favorites. And I always wanted to kind of do my own rendition of that. And so that's kind of the new endeavor that I took on last year.
Okay, now where did this idea spark, or how did this really get started?
So I've been out of VersaEmerge. My last year playing was on the AP tour in 2011. We were out with Black Veil Brides, I See Stars, Drugs, who's now making a big comeback again. I've always wanted to just be like a vocalist of a band, but I've kind of took the back seat when I had some other opportunities to know that I would be touring and being on a major label and going overseas and stuff. So I kind of put it on the back burner. But life kind of happened. I was married, now divorced. I have 2 kids. So I had to kind of go back to reality in real life again. So I kind of had to put everything on pause. But as time has gone on, I finally found a good opportunity to find somebody, Javi, who was able to kind of bring my vision to life. And I was able to finally make the music that I wanted to. And I just wanted to just kind of put it out and just see if, people dug it or not. And apparently they dug it really well. We picked up management after releasing our first single, Devil, with Jesse from Pinup Management. I know that you just spoke to James from Gravebound. He also manages them as well. Great guys, awesome music. So now it's just been this rush of getting everything together and just kind of taking it by the horns and seeing where it goes.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned the single Devil. You have 3 releases right now. Can you talk a little bit about each of them, maybe a little bit about the writing process or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Devil, of course, was our first single, as I mentioned. How it kind of happened is that Javi basically came up with all of the instrumentals to that. So he would bounce back ideas back and forth because, once again, I live near Orlando, so he lives about 3 hours away in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area, South Florida. So he would bounce me some ideas and be like, hey, do you like this? Do you like the direction? We kind of got a feel for it. And then after he kind of came up with the instruments, I would drive down there and lay down all my vocals. I would catch the vibe from whatever he was writing, and I had something in mind, some subjects that I wanted to write about. So that's been kind of the process. So every few weeks or every other week, I would be down there, bouncing off ideas, seeing if we like things, and then just, of course, laying down vocals to each one of these singles. And, of course, we eventually made a music video for one of those singles, so I've been super stoked with the progress.
Okay, I gotcha. So what about what's coming up with the rest of 2020? I mean, are there any plans for future releases coming soon? Maybe an EP, album, different singles?
Yeah, absolutely. So those 3 singles were just kind of a taste of what we've ultimately been collectively getting together. We are working on an EP right now. We have 3 of the 5 songs done. So we're just kind of working on that. We just played our first show last month in Tampa. It went really well, really awesome. Had a great time. It was great to be back on stage after years and years of not being on there. So definitely some tour dates we're going to try to get together soon. But the main focus right now is just getting this EP done and seeing if maybe we can gather a little bit of interest from any of the labels and some things going around, see if maybe we can get some support to release that EP collectively, and really just hit the market hard with maybe doing some East Coast runs and then eventually starting to go more towards the West Coast of the U.S.
Okay, and you mentioned you had your first show in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Can you walk us through what it was like taking the stage again after being away from so long, and the difference between playing bass and then actually being a frontman vocalist now?
I love that you asked that, because that was probably the biggest nerve-wracking thing of everything. I'm pretty sure that I sat and I practiced in my garage just holding the mic and practicing in a mirror and looking up music videos and videos of people that I've looked up to for a while and just been like, okay, you look like an idiot. Stop looking like an idiot. What can you do? It was definitely weeks and weeks of a process of making that change from having this big, heavy bass around your neck and that type of moving to that music to moving and propelling with, being a metal vocalist. So it was a big adjustment, and I was super nervous about it. The show in general, we were just nervous. We've got some background samples and some stuff that we use, so I really wanted to make sure that my MacBook was going to be operating correctly, that everyone was just going to be on the click and together, and we were the first band, so we just got to just kick off the night, but according to what everyone said, it was really tight, really awesome. I had a great time on stage, got to meet a lot of the bands afterwards. Big difference from going back to these like a smaller venue versus when I was in Versa. We were playing House of Blues, we were doing Warped Tour, it was a big adjustment, kind of kicking back into that. But I love it just as equally as anything else that I've done. It was a awesome night.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to ask you to send me a video of that, because now I'm a little interested to see it myself.
Yeah, we've got some on the Facebook, and I'll make sure to send that to you personally as well.
Okay, thank you. What goals does the band have for 2020?
I think we're going to start pretty simple. I mean, it's definitely a growing process just being in a band, especially in this market today, because, there's a lot of oversaturation with a lot of the same types of music, bands, and things. So we would just be happy just being able to just, be able to play to a local place near our fans. So we've got a lot of places that we like to hit over the U.S. That would be awesome. Just starting off small, maybe doing like a smaller tour with maybe a band that might be a little bit bigger than us, so that we can get a little bit of draw going in some of these places that we haven't been to before. So that's just kind of the big next step for us. And once that we get on the road, I'd really like to start kind of sharing the stage with some of these idols that I had that I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. August Burns Red, bands like that. Some bands like Invent Animate Era are really doing really well right now. Those types of bands would be awesome to maybe open up on a tour for them. That'd be sick.
Yes, I would. They're awesome bands. You guys have great music as well. So I do hope.
Thank you.
No problem. I do hope the best for you guys moving forward. Any final words for fans? Anyone that used to know you back in the old band, fans of the new band now, anyone listening at all?
Yeah, just to keep your eyes and ears out, because this has been something that we've had a good steady momentum even from the beginning of last year. Now to see that we've had 3 singles, a music video, over 2,500, likes on Facebook, and YouTube has been blowing up and things, and Spotify. Just to keep your eyes and ears out for us. We're definitely coming. We're coming back full steam, and to just go check out our socials and to keep posted on that progress all the way there.
All right, Devin, thank you very much for the time today. I'm going to be talking to you here in a little bit off air, but you make sure you stay safe out there, and thanks again for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all. So that's Devin from the band Variant. He's the vocalist there. They got 3 singles out right now. They got Devil, Leech, Mosquito. Check them out when you get the chance. They'll be releasing more music later this year, and you got to keep an eye on them because it sounds like Devin here's got a lot of contacts, and he'll be taking off real soon. So make sure you're on the watch out for the band Variant. That's it for this episode of the KP Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe out there, guys, and we'll see you all next time.